When I first started making videos, I remember this intense anxiety about how I looked on camera, worried that I needed to have all this fancy makeup and fancy lighting. What do I do to get the right mics and cameras, all of this, and also worried that I'm not excitable enough when I talk. I'm just way too low-key. I can't get into that bubbly excitement, that I have too much of this really calm energy. Less of like a bubbly rushing river and more like a calm lake. That no matter what happens, whatever storm happens, it's just always coming back to a place of calm. But whatever energy you have, maybe that's needed. Maybe you don't have to look like everyone else. And really, this worry about me being beautiful enough to be taken seriously, it's so painful to think about that. It's a judgment against myself. It's a judgment against all women. And it's really heartbreaking. It's allowed to be there. You're allowed to feel that judgment rise up within you. And I used to feel that, and now I feel the lessening of that. I'm allowed to not wear makeup. I'm allowed to not have the perfect video or sound. I'm allowed to just be as I am. And as I do that, a more authenticity can flow through me. A deeper connection to who I am that other people can connect to. And as I became more comfortable in expressing myself just as I am without needing to worry about everything else, the more I enjoyed watching my own videos. I was less uncomfortable with watching myself on video being extremely uncomfortable. I was able to, as I filmed myself, get more of a sense of intimacy within myself in the process while making the video, where it was an opportunity for me to become closer to myself, to openly discuss and talk about what I'm really feeling. And maybe that's enough. Because what do we see in the online space? We see a bunch of junk and we know it's junk. If we, who are doing an intense amount of work to develop ourselves, to get to the root of who we are, to dissolve the lies around what makes us happy, to develop that true authenticity, if we come into the online space and start talking, we change the space. There is suddenly content where there are people who are going to a higher level of consciousness. And this level of consciousness, it changes the way the world operates. It changes what happens in the world. You need a higher level of consciousness in order to make better decisions, in order for society to make better decisions. Things like violence against women and human trafficking can only happen within a very low level of consciousness. Because there has to be denial about the pain and suffering to allow it to continue. And this suppression can only happen when you don't have enough awareness to actually feel through it. And if you're feeling what I'm feeling, you can't stop it. It's all coming out. You're feeling all of it. it's amazing for us to feel through this and give each other permission to let a beautiful, incredible part of ourselves shine through. Which happens when we step up to what we know we need to do to access that part of ourselves that has infinite wisdom, that can tap into incredible genius levels of creativity. It doesn't matter if other people are already creating this kind of content. It's not about other people. Focus on you. Focus on what you can do to bring yourself into deeper connection with yourself. And that's going to mean challenging yourself, challenging the story that you can't do it, challenging the idea that other people aren't going to like it, as if you're doing it for other people. Everything you're doing in your life is for your own personal growth. So all your endeavors, have that be your focus. Because if you're focused on the outcome, you're going to be worried about a whole host of things that don't matter. You'll look back and realize that didn't matter, not even a little bit. Why was I so worried about it? Well, you were worried about this artificial outcome. But if you're focused on how do I grow through this, even if it's something really important in your life, if your primary focus is how am I growing through this, you are open to progressing that much faster. You're open to not dealing with bullshit that you would have otherwise dealt with. For example, if you're dealing with clients who are really needy, really demanding, and you're focused on, is this benefiting my personal growth, not just about me making money, then it changes for you. Then you can be, well, you're allowed to be unhappy with the service I'm providing. That's okay. Because if it's not helping me to grow, to beg and grovel for your approval and attention, I'm not going to do it. And I noticed that sense within myself of this sense of wanting to beg and grovel, worrying about whether people like the videos I'm making or not. And it doesn't matter. What matters is, do I like them? And to be patient and trust the process because it's gotten better. I didn't like them at all at first. And now I'm liking the videos I'm making a lot better. I go back and I listen to my own videos now. Because I'm like, wow, that was something really beautiful and insightful that I said there. That came up in the moment. And what I'm doing, I'm forcing myself to be very much in the moment. And that allows this deeper connection to myself to come through, some higher wisdom to come through, because here I am making the video, setting the expectation that this is what I'm going to be doing. Saying something beautiful, insightful, valuable. And then later on in my day, when I'm very much stuck in the smaller self who's worried about small problems, I can come back and listen to what I said, to this own advice for myself. That's what matters, is what I'm developing and growing through this. Why is this important? Because, maybe 10 videos, doesn't matter, 100, 1,000. Once you do it so often, you start to learn how to peel away all the excuses, the yeah buts that seem so real. They seem like legitimate obstacles. They're not, they're just excuses. But this takes a paradigm shift to realize that. And you have to go through the pain of all these excuses and yeah buts. And in this process, you shift yourself. And that's what allows you to be really powerful. And if you're that powerful, imagine how many people really want to be around you. So take the time to invest in yourself by doing everything for your own personal growth.